Happy Wednesday, people. Coming to you with another half decent sort of project for you all to do. And this is something I'm going to be having for the house. So I'm just getting in here, measuring. I'll give you sort of rough dimensions. I'll put them up on the screen in a second. Now I'm just going to what I'm doing here. It's like I sort of like get it wrong further on down in the video. I'm not good at maths or anything like that, so this is a rough guide, and I end up going back on a mistake that I'm making here because I've not accounted for like a skirting trim at the bottom of that side wall there. And I make it far too wide anyway, what I'm making. So there's the sizes in centimetres and inches. But if anybody wants to make this, they can make it to their own dimensions. And there it is again wrote down. But it is actually wrong, to be honest with you. The height is okay, and the depth is just the width. So for this project, I'm using 8x1, a combination of 8x1 and some bits of 4x2. And then I end up using some little bits I had from other projects that are overmade. You'll see them in a little while. So I'm just going in, getting the wood cut down to size. There's my little table there. And that's been super handy up to now. So let me know where you're all from. I ask that every video. So old school sort of maths here, right? I get a piece of paper and a pencil out and sort of like do me working out, because this project, when you look at it, you think, oh, it's not a big project, but when you start getting into it, it's quite an intricate project. Well, it is for me anyway. So I'm going to be cutting out all strips here, 3cm strips, and then with it ends up a 2cm gap. I initially wanted a 1cm gap, but it ends up a 2cm gap. So I'm just going in here, cutting these strips down to 3cm. And it's just nice and easy. Take it easy with a table saw. You all know that. Anybody wants a push stick, let me know. There's something super satisfying about this table saw. I absolutely love it. I don't know what saws yous have got and whatever, but this little DeWalt job site table saw it's a little godsend. It's a little workhorse. I'm really pleased with it. I got it from, who did I get it from? I got it from a company called FFX in the UK. But I'll put a link down to one, I think, below, which will be on Amazon. But it's up to you where you can pick one up from if you want to go and buy one. My advice is shop around for a good deal on it. And I think, I'm not sure, but on Amazon, if you buy DeWalt goods, I'm not sure about the warranties, whether they're valid if it's purchased through Amazon or not. Just double check on that. So all this wood here, just all chopped up there. There's absolutely loads of it. So this project that I'm making doesn't turn out to be a nightmare. It's just like time consuming. And there he is, keeping an eye on things. Little Stanley Bob. Come on then. As you can tell, everybody gets dirty and dusty, but I don't know what it is. I just tend to get dirtier and dustier than sort of most people. So I'm just going in here. These are for the frame, the four sides of the frame, like a leg type frame section. And I'm just going up here, I'm going to marking up 3 for some screws, glue, and then I'll just put a plug over the top just to hide the screws. I just hate seeing exposed screws. I just don't like it. I don't know why. Some people are not fussed about it, but if I'm doing anything, I try and hide the screws. And I know sometimes that can be counterproductive if you have to take something apart or whatever, but for me, it just finishes a project off a little bit more if I just put the plugs over it. So I'm going in with Type Bond 2 glue here, because this is a project, it's for indoors. If it was for outdoors, it'd be Type Bond 3. And I'll just spread that glue with my finger there. Nice and easy. I'm just going in with some more. Just be careful when you glue it and then you're going in with drill. Just be careful it don't come out of line, because it can move. The glue, you all know anyway, the glue makes it move, makes it very slippy. I'm just making sure everything's lined up, put a bit of pressure on there. And it doesn't have to be accurate as anything this, just as long as the wood's all accurate. The holes don't have to be. Just sort of, you know, measure them and that's it. You don't have to be millimetre perfect. Going in here with 40mm screws. These Torx screws I've got, Wolf something or other. I'll put a link down below, but they are really good. So I'm just capping it here now. Nice and easy. Just a pine plug I've just cut. Nothing special on this really. Because it's all going to be, the whole lot's going to be stained. Just give it a little tap. And here's my little jig. Just showing you that. I mean, you really should sort away from you, but I'm just showing you there. And it just stops them popping everywhere as well, which is good. And it leaves a really clean cut. And sometimes when you're cutting them plugs with a flush knife, you get like a bit of a scoring on the wood. When you're using one of them jigs, you don't seem to get it for some reason. And look at all that. Now, sanding. Look at that. That's a sanding nightmare, isn't it? But just what you got to do with it is just get into it and just take yourself away somewhere in your head and just keep sanding and just keep plugging away at it. I did end up doing, I got a sort of like a method going with the sanding and the strips further on, which made it a little bit quicker. So I'm just going over it there with a 180 grit. And here's Shelley now. She's got a stain everything, pre-stain everything, and she's using the Morel's spirit-based stain. And this is new medium oak, this colour. Goes on fantastic, as you can see. It is a really good product. And there's just loads of it. She's got to go over every single one of them. But as you see in the end, it is worth it. You know, when the project's finished, we love it. It's suits our needs for what we need to do. So I'm just going to start building a frame here now. It's all been done. A little bit of glue to the edges. And I'm just going to screw them down again with the 40mm screws. Timberwolf screws is the name, Timberwolf. They seem to be really good. That little caddy there I've got is really handy as well. I can't get a link to them. I got it from, if you want one, I got that from a place called Screwfix in the UK. And it's just one of them things I always seem to use all the time. It's just really handy. You can get, there's the 8 one, then you can get like singular ones you can screw to your wall, your workshop wall, that kind of thing. Really good, really handy. Handy thing to have in it. It's not expensive as well. I think that cost me, I think it was about £9.99 or something like that, from memory serves me right. So I'm just going in here with a bit of glue, some 32mm brads all the way down. So all the sides are going to have this sort of like this effect going down. So what I'll do here now is I'll space it using a 2cm spacer in between. Bit of glue. Now this takes a little bit of time, but it went faster than I thought it would. Once I got into a rhythm, I just got into a little rhythm of doing it, and it just went really quick in the end. when I say quick, it still took quite a while, but it seemed quick because it weren't boring. It weren't a boring job because you like constantly thinking to make sure everything's level and square and straight. So it took the boredom out of doing this bit away. I'm not too happy with this brad nailer either. It's one of them brad nailers. Maybe I need to have a little bit more use with it. I don't know. It just feels like, I know it's a battery powered one, but it's just feels really heavy in the hand. And it feels like it doesn't put the pressure down enough. I don't know if that makes sense, Joe. I'm not sure. So I'm just marking that way. Now, I made the thing too wide, and I went back and checked it. And because something was just bugging me, and I was like round about 14 centimeters too wide. So what I done is I took part of the frame off, and then I'm just cutting the two sort of like front sections and two back sections of the frame, which brings the two sides in. You can see there where it initially screwed, and I just cut into that line now. So I'm just going in here with a Japanese saw. I know where I'm sawing, so I'm just using that there just to keep the thing stable. That's it. The bench hook. Just make sure everything's nice and square here. I've just gone back in. You can see where I've re-put them back in because there at the bottom, these cross pieces. And so what that means is all the back section has to be, all the back slats, should I say, has to be cut down as well. So, but, I'll burn them little bits that I cut off. Just with this saw, I can stack them all and do this, but you can do it by hand, you can do it with a jigsaw, there's loads of ways of cutting them. My daughter makes them stickers. I'll stick a link down in the description if you want some stickers making. She calls herself Buried with Books, little business she's got up in Manchester. She sent me some stickers down to try out, and they're really good. So I'm just going on here. There's a lot of this. It'll all come good in the end. Could I have made this a different way? Probably. There's probably loads of ways to doing it. Have I gone a bit overkill? Yes, I have, but it's for the home. If I was going to sell this product, I think it's one of them products where it wouldn't be worth making to sell because I don't think people would appreciate the time and effort that goes into this product. To sell it, I don't, maybe I'd get lucky and sell them, but it's just sometimes it's them projects where you think when you sort of weigh up your costs and everything, it's not like a option to sell them because people just won't sort of buy items. Everything's at a price point, isn't it? And that's how people think, and they don't sort of see the love, care, handmade nature of what we all do, and that's that's no criticism of people. That's the way of life. So I had to go back and cut up a few more boards. I was a bit short on my boards what I was cutting. I mean, I did do a quick brief sketch of what I wanted, and it's not turned out to how I envisioned it. So I've ended up chopping and changing a few bits as and when I went along, which is good practice really, because it just makes you a better woodworker if you can overcome the bits. So these are sort of like little bits I've had left over from other projects, and I just need the stains to marry up a bit, and these were a darker stain, and I thought I'm not wasting them, I might as well try and use them on this project. So I just thought I'd get some of that off and re-stain them as best as I could, because they're not really going to be seen, and this is for my own house anyway, so it didn't matter too much. So that's that. They were two sort of dark boards there. I stripped them right back. You can still see remnants of the old staining there, but it was for the top of what I'm making here. And for whatever reason, when I cut these boards for the top, when I fitted them, they were all like sort of they were all a bit jaggedy and a bit staggered. So I'm just going in here and just putting like a little bit of a cut on here, just to get them sort of like make both sides look sort of half decent. I've sort of inset, I've come in a couple of inches and then sort of rounded them in and through, if that makes sense. Just what I had left really. And there's its finished. Now them two box sections in there I do remove. I didn't like what they were for. It's a log store, so they were for kindling and for firelighters and stuff like that, them two boxes. But they didn't look right, so there you go. There's the finished log store. Let me know what you think. We love it. We think it's really nice. It'll do us for the winter. Project you can make. A bit time consuming, but fantastic nonetheless. And it's easy to do, and it will test you, so that's a good thing. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you with Bite Size Friday on Friday, followed by my Sunday video. Thanks for watching. Bye.